Yeah, I have problems with the taxi in Israel. Uh, I have. I am thinking that I will wait 1 week more to see if it solved the problem I have with a taxi in from Ben Gurion airport to the hotel in Jerusalem. And I have written to many companies in Israel to help me, but no one could help me so far. So, but it's okay. It's okay because I have other option to do. But my first best was to have this taxi going on, and so I can take with me my scooter. But it seems like in Israel it's not so. They don't have this big scooter that I have here in Sweden. That's the only scooter to could borrow from the hospital that I have, and but in Israel they have so they can fold the wheelchair, so it's going into a little bigger car, and I need a van and to uh, lift it up into the van, and I know those people that I have as friends on Facebook that I didn't know that I should be friends with them about this traveling, because it was for about in the beginning of this year that I heard from heaven that I should make friends in Israel, very much friends, and I thought it was about the ancestor, that it had something that we are connected, and it wasn't. But what I did from the beginning was to ask, request friendship with those that have the same surname, last name, as they have in my family tree and what is in my DNA. And all of them are Jewish. And I was most interested to get from Israel of some. Now I know why, but I felt like it should be interesting to see how many there is that in Israel that have the same name, short name as I have in my family tree. And they are many, and then I find out in my family tree that many lived in Israel and Palestine for not so long time ago, for maybe 100 years ago, like that. And so it was not deep down, it was people here that have just lived and live still in Israel. And I thought it was about that, but I see it today that it was about to get help in Israel with my scooter. I thought they had big vans in Israel, but I understand it today that those vans is for to drive tourists, to get money from tourists, and it's a touring van. It's not for my scooter, it's for to have many people, a group of people, drive them away to those fake sites or real sites. It can be both, and drive them and show them this. And I have talked about it before, that is many sites in Israel that is only built up to show tourists, to get money from tourists, and they don't know if that place was where it had happened, what was saying in the Bible, because they are for me is it, but I can have wrong, but for me is it like the tourist is Christian tourist only in Israel, so they built up what it says in the Bible where it should be, but they don't know that place. And I have talked about that God let me know that when I was there already in 2011, the first time, and I was in this tourist group, and they drive us around in a big bus, not in a van like they are today, many. And it was just at Villa de la Rosa where Jesus should go with the cross to Golgotha, and he was going there with that cross. But then we saw that this group of people, that the Villa de la Rosa is very long, and he couldn't have, after have been bleeding and warm weather and suffering, that he couldn't walk the whole way on Villa de la Rosa. So someone, or I think it wasn't me, it was someone in the group that asked the guide we had if is it here? And I looked down on the road. I said, was it here he was walking, Jesus, with the cross? And the guys say, we don't really know where he was walking. We only know that he was walking on Villa de la Rosa, but what part of Villa de la Rosa we don't know. So that was kind of a built-up story to show tourists and get money. But in 2011 was it not so much about get money from Christian people that coming and look biblic events that have taken place in Israel, that it was not so much as it is today. It had built up very, very much, and they have built up fake sites to show tourists. So that was God was showing me really from the first time in Israel, and it was also showing this with a group of tourists that they drive around. And when we come and should drive to Bethlehem, then we were stopped at the board, and they say our guide was not allowed to come in there. It had to be a Palestinian man that took us to Bethlehem. That was our guide. So it was going on maybe in the beginning, because they were surprised that it was like that in 2011. So it maybe started there, that Palestinian men want to have that kind of money, because those that hold in this tour, they have to give him extra money to could come into Palestine. But he was nice, this man, and he was not a Muslim style on him, because he was talking as he should talk, like Christian style. So it was okay for the group. And but now it have built up. They have found out that they can make money on tourists. It's much money coming into Israel, and so those van you see in film, in movies, in pictures of Israel, it's not van to help disabled people to come to places. They think that we can handle it by train or bus that's going around, and don't understand the problem that I have this big scooter, and what they are built, the train and bus is for those slim, almost like a chair to drive, and that it's if they need to do it, they can fold it, and I can't fold my scooter. It's like a small car. You maybe, I don't know if I have a picture. I maybe should put a picture of it on this episode so you can see how big it is. So the problem is that they don't understand that the taxi that is big is for tours to get money from tourists. So there is no taxi for disabled. It's to go with those bus and train that take these small share-like scooters. So it's sad that I can't get that kind of scooter here. We only have this kind of scooter in the hospital, and if I can get a wheelchair that I drive like a chair, but I don't want to change it, because then they say that I can have that chair like the whole time, and I want to have my scooter that feels like I drive like not like a motorcycle, but a real vehicle, and I can bring with me more things to on it also. So it's a problem, but I have told you that if I can't. I have order on the Swedish side, the to drive me the whole way to the airport. So that's no problem. I have a car coming and get me with a scooter and drive me the whole way to the airport. But in Israel, it will be, if I can get a taxi that take this kind of scooter, it is more than 3 times more expensive to get it than in Sweden, and it's about the same distance, and it cost me more than 3 times. So it is very bad that they can't come and get me on the airport with my scooter. So I have told you, if it's going very, very, very bad, then I can walk, but I can fall very easily. But if it's like that, I need to walk and not bring with me my scooter. And to rent this kind of share scooter in Israel, is it about 120 shekel per day to rent one like that. And then if I don't have my scooter with me, I am thinking that I can take a taxi then. If I come walking to the hotel in Jerusalem, I can hire a taxi to drive me to those places I need to go. And it is only the Golden Gate to go to just now. I have not heard from the hospital yet, but it have been, the doctor seems to be a Jewish man. So it is holidays now. So I have to wait. I have sent the doctor papers to them, and I have received that they have got it. The answer come that the paper was there in Israel to the doctor. So it is true what the Spirit have told me, that I should start early to send the papers, and then they tell me, the Spirit is telling me that they are not going to send translated paper to me because they want to stop me could talk to the doctor in Jerusalem. So I translated the paper on my own, and I wrote that I was thinking that they maybe not want to give me those papers, so I had already paper because I was sending my personal journal from the hospital. I sent it that I wanted to know what they are talking about in what's going on in my body. So I got those paper, but in Swedish. So I said to the doctor, I can translate those papers for you because it's Latin. Many words is the same in English, so it was easy for me to translate it to English, and so he have got it, and I wait for those paper because if he not sending me any answer, or he tell me that he don't want to help me in Jerusalem, then I have other plans to do because what heaven have told me that I should touch the Golden Gate. It's the like reach the goal that you have running laps for a long time, and I have done that in 22 years and been prepared my whole life because I have had so very much abusive situation and have been very close to be killed, and I was killed when I was a child, but I come back because God come and healed me from to have been driven a big truck ran over me when I was about 2 years old, and God had told me about it, and I remember I had some memories that I was laying in a dark room, and cold dark room, and I had no clothes on me. I was laying like on a table, and suddenly it come a light and wake me up, and a light come over my body, and I felt like it was metallic hands holding me on my shoulders so I should not move when the light was over me. And my mother say that to me many times in my childhood. And she say, I thought you should never come back. You were dead, but you come back, she say. So of course she didn't know. And I have talked about that in one of my first episodes, how God come down and healed my body. And in that way that he healed my body, I store healing power inside my body. So I have helped people that want to be helped, that want to be healed. I have helped them to be healed. Like this woman that have been in a wheelchair for 15 years and couldn't walk. And the last time I saw her before I have to move away, she was playing football with her if it was siblings or the children. She was kicking the football. She was running around. And so it's like I am coming into the goal now. And it was like I have said that. I have felt like when the car drive over me 4 years ago, and I survived it, this part also, and it was like it started and ended with this, that in the beginning I was drive over of a truck, and then for 4 years ago I was drive over of a of a car, a white car, and I survive it and be not very disabled. I can still walk, but my brain can only suddenly stop working and I fall. And I have with me some important things to Israel, so I don't want me to fall and then someone steal my bag when I'm laying on the street or on the sidewalk. That's what I want to stop to be. That's why it's so important to get that taxi in Israel. And if I don't get any help with this, I am going to not be at that hotel, expensive hotel. Then I can be at the hostel, and I have a hostel. If I was thinking I order a bed in the hostel inside a room where it's both men and women in that room, and because it's cheap to be there. And I was thinking I order it if I don't have the money to pay for the expensive hotel the whole staying. But if it's so that I have to walk in Israel, then I need to. I'm going to lay at a cheap hostel the whole time, and then I take a taxi to those places I need to go instead, only walking. So there is the last option that I have. So it starts to soon to come to that time when I don't see any help to get from Israel or Swedish organizations. I have talked to the Swedish church in Jerusalem and they didn't help. And now I'm waiting for answer from the organization of Friends of Israel, and they have a hotel also where I can stay. And I wait for them, see if they can help me with a taxi. If they help me with a taxi, I am going to stay at their hotel and pay there instead, if they help me. So it's very much open yet because I don't get any help in Israel. So I have asked the hotel, but they don't help. It seems like it's impossible to be disabled and get a taxi in Israel. That's very, very bad. So that's the only thing to do is to walk and fall. I have to pray to God to help me. I can maybe take me to the hotel, and I can safe come to the hotel walking, because I take a taxi, walking taxi, when I'm there at the airport, and then go to the hotel with a taxi. And so that's because I have a big suitcase with me that I got this suitcase in United States when I was in Utah. I got this suitcase, and because the suitcase I had with me, it broke because I have bought so much things in United States, so it broke. So they gave me a new suitcase in that family I was staying in, and so I can maybe, but the Mormon church is not in Israel so much because they think that they are Israel. So I was thinking that maybe someone is sending me this that say that you can ask the Mormons if they have something in Jerusalem to help you, like a taxi, a car to come with. But it's, I don't think they are, and I don't talk to someone in the Mormon church. So it's very hard for me to do that. But maybe I will see if I can reach that church in Jerusalem that is Mormon church to see if they can help me. That's what I got just now from, if it's you that listen, but it wasn't, because now I feel a spirit is touching me now. So it's a female spirit that is telling me that I did that, I touch you, she say. So I got that in my mind to ask the Mormon church in Jerusalem. They have one place there in Jerusalem, but it's like more like a school. But I will see. I have looked at their website, but I was not really serious about it. But I can do it now because I have not tell them that I don't want to be a member of the Mormon church. I have the letter to send them, but I have not sent them yet. I was thinking I should send them just when I'm leaving, or maybe never. We'll see what's happened. And they may be help, I don't know. It's like what God is telling us, that we should knock on doors. We should knock on many doors to see if someone help us. And so far, no one have helped me. You are, some of you have helped me with the money, and I'm very thankful for that. But the technical, the literally helping to bring me a car to help me, that have not happened. The money have coming in, and I need more money, but I have hope that it will come more money for me to could stay in Israel in 2 months as heaven want me to do. And it is, I'm very thankful for the monies that are coming in, because the first money that come in, that told me that it was true that I should heaven want me to come to Israel. But those first money I got, I could pay the airline ticket, and I was so stressed because I got so much money and have to place it somewhere, so I didn't have that at home or on my bank account. So I was not thinking that I set up me for to come to Tel Aviv in Sabbath. I was not thinking about it can be a Sabbath day and then the taxi doesn't work. But I think it didn't matter about that because there is many people that doesn't care about Sabbath, so they working. So I don't think it's so very bad. I know my other time I have been to Israel, have it been men from Palestine, Muslim men that have driven the taxi. So it should not be a problem. The problem is that they don't have those vans for ordinary disabled people. It's for tourists, those big. And I wait, I wait for those spirit. I have a spirit here that want to say something. She touched me and she said that I should take contact with the Mormon church to see. And maybe is it some kind of a test. My whole life have been to test people. So this is maybe a test and not something that helped me. It's about test on people the whole time. That's why I come here on earth. I wanted to come back here on earth. I'd say that to God, that I wanted to come one more time to earth and live a lifetime here. And God, He is a little can joke with us. He is a little childish sometimes. So you want to come one more time to earth. And then He make me be a woman. And He knew how hard it is to be a woman and work for Him, because no one care. And those men that I should be married to have been only the devil's men, sons that have coming through. And those kindly men that I like when I was younger, they never wanted me. So it have not been so easy for me to find a real man. And maybe I will never get this real man from God, because there is no one. Single, that waiting for me, because I have so much error now because of my age, and there's wrinkles in my face, and I am not slim because of this with pancreas that make me be swollen in my body, and I am a light disabled, and I think that I can't do any sexuality, but I can. I can, and I like it. But they think that my age and disabled and fat, that should be a problem, but it isn't. But they don't understand that. And so those men that is of the world, they see me in that way. So I waited for a man, a single man, that don't look at it, or maybe know that I can function as a woman like I was 25 years old, like that. It maybe there is a man that am like that I find late in life, or else I'm not going to get it. I only be God's wife to be without man, because I maybe have my husband in heaven. Not the one that I married in Texas, but a man that was in other lifetimes I have lived here on earth. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. And a spirit. She said she coughing this way because she have seen you smoking so very much. She let me see you smoking cigarettes very, very, very much. You always have a cigarette in your mouth, and so far you have not got any damage in your body, but there will be a time for you. So she wants you to quit smoking, and that's why she touched me for the other things, but also she touched me because she wanted to talk about your smoking. That it's shorten your life. You are going to those coughing you have. It's a sign of what's going on. So she said that it's not good for you, and you know that, but it's hard for you to quit. But she said that if you take one step, she is going to take two steps to help you. That's what she is saying. I laugh every time I see the commercial on television about to quit smoking, and there is chewing gum you can have in your mouth if you want to smoke and you want to quit, and then it's a Band-Aid that you place on your body to help you to quit smoking. But those chewing gum and Band-Aid is a little nicotine in it. It's like smoking a little cigarettes, but not so much. But it should be counted out that it's help you to not want to smoke a cigarette. it's only a little that the body get from it. And I laugh about it because my husband from Texas, he was smoking and smoking. He got up in the night and smoking, and he had the chewing gum and he had the band-aid on him, and then he was smoking. So he got very much nicotine in him, and he have already HIV, so his life ending. His daughter couldn't tell, but she said it was cancer, but he maybe got AIDS that ended him, or both, cancer in his lungs, and that cancer in his lungs kill him, and it become to be AIDS of it. So I laugh about that. He was smoking, and then did he have this chewing gum and band-aid on in the same time, and that make it worse for him. So I'm sorry for laughing about it, because it's nothing to laugh about to get cancer in your lungs, and it's very hard to take that away. You need to replace it, the lungs. And my best friend I had in the 80s, she died of lung cancer. So it's really nothing to laugh about, but I laugh about how he treat himself about this with smoking. He smoked the same amount of cigarettes in the same time that he have this medicine to quit smoking. So she is saying this, and if they is talking to us from heaven, they tell us the truth. So she say that she is going to help you, and you that try to quit smoking, and you have tried that many times, but you have not could do that. But this time heaven will help you. And if they say that, they do it. But sometimes what they are saying from heaven is not exactly what we think they are saying, because they can say it in a symbolic way. They can say it in a spirit way that we don't understand. So it's not 100% all the time when they are talking. The healing is 100%, but not what they are talking, because the communication can be wrong, because we think in the worldly, literally thinking, when they speak in the spirit and symbolic way. But you know that they are here for us. If you want to quit your smoking or drugs or drinking, they are there, here for you, to help you to quit, if you really want to quit. They know your heart, so you can't lie and say, of course I want to quit, and then you don't take the first step to quit. The Spirit says that if you take the first step, I take two. She didn't say, I take two and you take one. She said, if you take one, You have to take the first step is that you should take. And what's the first step for you is to tell you your heart and put it in your mindset that you want to quit. That's the first step to take, and they help you with a 2-step that you need to go through the whole thing and be quit it. So thank you for listening. This was a little update about what's going on. No help in Israel. No one in Israel helped me.